What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and today I want to show you guys how to secure your Apache websites using Let's Encrypt on Ubuntu 20.04. So as I stated in the intro of the video, I want to show you guys how to secure your websites using a SSL cert on your Apache server. And just to explain what this is, there are two different protocols, TLS, which stands for Transport Layer Security, and SSL, which stands for Secure Socket Layer. And both of these protocols are used to wrap your normal internet traffic in a very protected and encrypted way, so no one can actually snoop on you and see what you're actually doing on whatever website that you're accessing at the moment. For example, this is why most of your online, well, pretty much all of your online banking websites have certs installed, so no one can actually capture their login information. And this is very important to protect the users that access your websites. And just to give you another example, let's say you have a website that's selling products. Well, most people, when they purchase things, they have to put in their credit card information and all that stuff. So you want to have a SSL cert on there to protect your users while they're purchasing products from your website. And this can 100% be accomplished by installing a self-signed SSL cert on your Apache server. So during this demonstration, I'll walk you guys through the full process of installing your own SSL cert in Ubuntu 20.04, and it's a very simple process. It's only a few commands and I'll get you guys up and running in no time. So now, before I move on and show you guys how to install it, I want to show you guys the company behind the actual script that I'm going to use. It's basically called Let's Encrypt. It's a nonprofit organization, and their main goal is to secure the web. So any website that's out there, they make it super easy to get your SSL certs installed on your server because it's free and open to anybody to use. And this will provide, better internet browsing in a very safe way by not allowing someone to actually snoop and get your information. And if we read a little bit on it, I just want to highlight these couple key principles that they have. Basically, they say it's free to anyone who owns a domain name can use Let's Encrypt to obtain a trusted certificate at zero cost. And that's one of the best things about Let's Encrypt, being that a lot of these websites that sell domains, they also offer you SSL certs, but they'll charge you like a monthly fee. Well, this will get rid of that fee. So if you're paying, let's say GoDaddy or one of these other companies to provide a cert for you and update it and all that stuff through their platform, you can actually be doing that for free. And Let's Encrypt is basically doing a great benefit to the community to allow people to install these certs for free. And then also, as it states right there, automatic. And that's one cool thing about the actual application that I'm about to show you guys and install. It's basically automatic. It'll renew itself automatically before it expires. So you have a new cert automatically installed on the server, and you never really have to touch it again once you have it set up. And then the next thing, it says secure Let's Encrypt will serve as a platform for advancing TLS security best practices, both on the CA side and by helping site operators properly secure their servers. And transport, all certs are issued or revoked will be publicly recorded and available for anyone to inspect. And then open, the automatic issuance and renewal protocol is published as a open standard that others can adopt. And cooperative, much like the underlying internet protocols themselves, Let's Encrypt is a joint effort to benefit the community beyond the control of anyone's organization. So I definitely recommend you guys check out this website. It gives you a little information about what the organization is about and why it's trying to provide this service to anyone. And if there's a way to donate, I definitely recommend you donate to this organization because they're doing a great service that I definitely support. Now, before I switch back over to the terminal, I also wanted to show you guys the site that I'm going to install the cert on. And a couple days ago, I did a video on setting up your own Nextcloud server. Well, one of the steps or last steps after getting it installed and set up and everything, you want to put a SSL cert on there. So when you log into the system or the server, your username and password and all that stuff is protected. And also the files that you upload to Nextcloud, like it could be important documents or files or pictures and stuff like that, is protected and no one can actually snoop and get that as it's traveling over the net. So let's go to the site. It's cloud.keepititechie.net. Boom. And this is what we're actually looking for. As you can see, it says not secure. That means a cert is not installed on the system. But most websites that you go to nowadays, they'll have that lock up there. For instance, if we go to, I don't know, Bank of America. Let's go to Bank of America right fast. And let's go to their website. And I actually had to search it, but let's go to Bank of America. And also Google, you know what I'm saying? It had that lock up there, but this is Bank of America. Most banks, most websites, a lot of websites on the web already have certs on them, but it's a lot that don't. But as you can see, it has that lock right there. That's basically letting you know that the connection is secure and it has a valid certificate. And as you can see, it's issued to Bank of America and all that. So basically what we want to do is create the same thing for our Nextcloud server. So this is the example. Now let's switch over to the terminal right fast so we can go through the process of actually installing one, and then we'll switch back once we install it so we can verify that it actually worked. So let's go to the terminal. So as always, when you're installing something new on a server, you want to go on and update the server. So I'm gonna run some updates right fast. So sudo apt update and press enter, and then it's gonna ask us for our password. Type that in and it's going to run through and try to update the system, or at least refresh the repositories and tell us what updates are available. So let's go down and upgrade it and run through that right fast. It's just one package, so it didn't take long. All right, cool. So now that that's done, let's go on and install the CertBot application. So let's type sudo apt install. And it's two packages. One of them is CertBot, like what I just said, and this is basically the bot that will renew your certs for you and all that, and as well as the scripts and all that stuff that are tied to CertBot. And then also we need a Python package, and this is a Python package for Apache. It's almost like a module, so let me show you guys that right fast. But it's Python 3 and then -cert-bot-Apache, and I might have spelled something wrong. Yeah, I spelled something wrong. So CertBot and then -Apache. Boom, and press enter. That's the two packages we want to install. It'll go through and install them right fast for us. Won't take too long. Like I said, this thing is running in the cloud, so it's super quick. So now that we have that installed, those two applications installed, one thing you want to verify is your firewall for your system. And so if you got any questions about UFW, I did a video on it not that long ago, but what I typically do is just turn on the firewall, because right now there is no firewall on this server at the moment. Based on what I remember, I didn't do anything with the firewall, so we're gonna have to activate that thing. I always like to activate it, especially when I'm running websites or I'm logging in SSH, just for extra protection. And right now it's inactive, but one thing we want to do is activate it and then open up, well, first we want to open up the ports and then activate it. And the only reason I'm doing that because I'm logged in SSH. You want to make sure you open up that port as well. So I'm gonna show you the commands right fast, but sudo UFW, and then let's look at the app list. And you should remember this from one of the other videos I did with UFW, and this is all based on what's installed on the system. As you can see, we have Apache installed, and there's three different like app lists is for Apache. So this one is for port 80. this one is for port 80 and 443, which is the SSL port. And then Apache Secure is just for 443, and then also open SSH. So let's go down and open up the Apache full. So let's type sudo ufw allow, and then let's put it in quotes, single quotes, but Apache full. And the reason I'm putting it in quotes is because it's also it's an app within UFW, and it also has a space in between it. Sometimes when you're typing things in the command line, when the space is there, it will see it as a separate command and fail when we run the command. So let's press enter, and this will open up those ports for us. And then also the next thing I want to do is open SSH. So let's type open SSH and press enter, and that'll open up port 22 for us. And if we run that status command again, that'll let us know, well, it won't let us know anything until we enable it, but we have added those rules. So let's go on and enable UFW by basically typing sudo UFW enable, and this will enable our firewall. And what it's going to do is ask you if you want to proceed, because I'm connected via SSH, and it may kill the connection. So that's why we wanted to make sure we had open up the port for SSH, which is port 22. So let's press enter there, and now the firewall is enabled. And if we go back to our status command we just ran, you'll see that everything is open that we need. So port 22, and then Apache full is open as well. Okay, cool. So now to the fun part, and this is where we'll actually run the CertBot command. So all we have to do is type sudo and then CertBots, and I'm misspelling like crazy today, but CertBots, and then -- Apache. And the reason we had to put Apache there, because CertBot, you can actually you can actually run it against an Nginx server as well. So you have to specify the web server that you have. So look for the documentation if you're using an Nginx server, but you have to run it for Nginx, because what it does is modify your Apache configuration file through this scripts process. And the configuration files for websites on Apache and Nginx is different. The way you actually type out the configuration within the file when you're setting up virtual hosts. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys so you can understand that that's why we have to specify Apache. Now let's press enter, and this will go through the process, and I'll walk you guys through it. It's super simple, but the first step is entering your email address. So I'm gonna put KeepItTechie@gmail.com. Boom. And let's make sure I typed it in right. But yeah, and you want to make sure you type it in right. So let's press enter. And now the next thing is just basically reading the terms of service and agreeing to it. Now I'm not going to read it, but I'm gonna put A. You just basically type out an A, and that'll basically say you agree to it. Boom, press enter. And then the next thing, it asks you, do you want to share your email address with the foundation? And I always put no, so you just put a capital N, press enter, and move forward. And as you can see, it'll pop up with which ones you want to activate, because it looks at your Apache configuration and see what servers that you have out there, based on the configuration files that are out there. And so this list could have, all the virtual hosts that you have on there. So if you got multiple websites, then they'll be listed down. And basically the reason it puts that number on the side of it, because that's where you want to select it, just basically by typing the number. So it's only one, so it's the first one up there, but that's the one we want to activate. And one thing about this, if you have an alias within your configuration file, like for instance www.cloud.keepitechie.net, that'll show up there as well. And the way you add both of them in there, because you want to get a cert for both of them, make sure it's for both of them, so it'll apply to both of them, because it's essentially the same site. It's just one of them has www in front of it and the other one doesn't. And you can specify more than one by just putting a comma and then the number. So let's say it's 1 and 2, then you do that. And then also you could put a space in there as well. So 1 and 2 or whatever, you know, with the space. But let's press enter, and this will select that domain that we want to change. And then it'll obtain a new cert, and then it'll install the cert, and then deploy the cert, and also make changes to your configuration file. And then right here is one of the changes it wants to ask you, and it's basically asking you if you want to redirect HTTP traffic to HTTPS. And this is something that I typically do on all my servers. So even if someone types in HTTP:// and then the domain name, it'll redirect them to the secure site by, you know, just pretty much automatically changing it to HTTPS, you know, : //. So that's option 2, and you want to make that selection here. So I'm gonna type 2, but if you don't want redirects turned on, you can just press 1, and that way both sites or both connections are available for your users that's accessing your site. So let's press enter, boom. And then it'll basically give you a congratulations, your cert has been set up. And then it'll cover everything that it did. It saved the files in a specific location, as well as when it will expire. As you can see, it has an expiration date of December 2021. So it's about 3 months exactly. But one cool thing about this, it'll automatically renew, which is the next part I want to show you guys. And when you set up CertBot, it actually has a cron job that's part of the package. And this is the script that basically goes through and renews the cert on your server. And what you want to do, you know, pretty much is the last step, is to verify that the CertBot is gonna renew the cert, and basically that the service is up and running. So we could type sudo and systemctl, and then status, and then CertBot, and I think it's .timer, yes, and then press enter, and that'll just basically make sure the service is running. As you can see, it's active. And what happens with this CertBot timer, it runs twice a day. And as you can see right there, it explains it right there. I didn't know it had it in the when you actually run the status command, but it will run the CertBot twice a day, and then it will renew 30 days before the expiration of the cert. Now, one of the last things I wanted to show you guys is you can actually test to make sure this thing will run properly and renew the certs for you. There's a command on it, a CertBot command for you, but you can run sudo CertBot and then renew, and then there is a dry run option. So you can type dry dash run. So it's --dry -run. And this will actually run through the full process without actually renewing the cert for you. So you can run that, and it'll go through the full process of basically getting a new cert, you know, verifying, cleaning up, and it's just a full process. And it'll basically say dry run right here, simulating CertBot renewal. And as long as it says congratulations, all renewals succeeded, that lets you know that the CertBot, when it does run, it will actually renew your certs for you. Now we're pretty much done. As you can see, that wasn't too bad. Let's switch back over to our website, and we could test to make sure it actually works now. So all I'm gonna do is refresh the page. I'm gonna just hit F5, reload, boom. And as you can see, we got our lock up there. So let's go down and click on it. And as you can see, the cert is valid. It doesn't have the information on there yet, but your information, you know, with this server, for example, passwords, credit card numbers, is private when it is sent to the site. So that's one thing you want to always do, is use sites that are protected with a cert. And if you have something like this, like a Nextcloud instance or OwnCloud or any application like that, you kind of want your connections to be secure, especially if you're moving data back and forth, because people can actually snoop and get the information that you're sending back and forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This should be a very simple example of how to actually set up a SSL cert on your server. You shouldn't have any issues following these steps and getting your cert installed on your server so you can have a secure site. But please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comments below. And of course, keep it techie.